Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is a short video on the Bogota, which is a common tool in the lock sports community. It's a form of rake, and surprisingly, this tool doesn't really show up all that much in lockpick sets that you buy off the internet. If we look at a set here, this is a Southord C1510. We'll look at the selection we have here. We have a snake rake, or an S rake. We have a couple different sorts. We have a city rake, also known as an L rake, which is used for rocking locks open, and a half diamond, and that's pretty much it. Now I know that you do get something called a triple peak, which is fairly common in Chinese pick sets, but it's not exactly the same. Now you might remember, if you have very good memory, that quite a long time ago I made these, and this is a set of Bogotas. Quite a common sort of sight. It's designed to be a compact emergency kind of pick set, and basically the way it's designed to work is you have a couple of different picks, and the pick that you don't use is used as a tension wrench. So it's quite a nifty idea. Now there's a couple of problems with this set that I made. The first problem is that I rather foolishly actually made it upside down. I should have made it the other way round, because when I have to rake a Euro cylinder mounted the European way, you have to hold it this way up, which can get a little bit annoying and awkward. Would be better if you could hold it this way. So that's just something to note. I just wasn't paying attention, not such a big deal. The second problem, which is slightly more serious, is that the material is windshield wiper metal, and although it seems really springy, when you actually try making a pick out of it, you'll find that when you go to use the pick, it starts bending like mad. And I've got an example of this somewhere. An earlier pick that I made. There's after a couple of times picking the lock, this has been bent and reshaped. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a snake right now. So the material doesn't work very well, and yet another problem is that the tool is very small. This is a much smaller version to, I think, what it should be. Now, I don't actually have a real Bogota, so I don't know what it should look like, and I think I just lost a spring. There we go. So I don't really know what size it should be. That's what I'm trying to say. So today I decided to make a Bogota, a real Bogota, one that I can use, one that can be a part of my pick set, and this is what I came up with. And it's not finished yet. Obviously it doesn't have a handle. To make a handle, I will epoxy 2 of these on either side and some heat shrink over the top, and that'll make a very nice Bogota. Now, the way I made it, basically I used a round file, or first of all I used a flat file to thin it down just a bit, and then I used a round file to make a couple of strokes here. Then I used a triangle file to do the undersides. Now I don't actually know why people do take out the material underneath. Surely it would be stronger if you left it on, but that's the way it's been done, and so I thought I want to make one that's as accurate as possible. In the Chinese sets, you quite often see one, or a triple peak, with this part, the cutout is missing, and so you've got a thicker section here, and I think that's because these quite often break around about here. But I've never really had a tool apart from a Bogota, apart from this one, which I made a while ago, and I've only ever had that one bend, never breakage, so I guess it's going to be, you know, an experience, a new experience, and yeah. So I had a lot of questions from people on UK Lock Sports asking why I didn't make this shaft longer, and surely it's not long enough. Well, let me show you. I've got a 6-pin lock here. Let me show you this. It's actually a bit bigger than it looks, as you can see. Also, I've got union here, and it fits perfectly. So there's no real problem there, and the reason I made it that way is because when I make all my picks, I cut them to a standard size. So the standard length is 5 inches, and these pieces here are 3.5 inches. That's the size I cut them to. So this is basically all I had to work with. If I had made the material longer or cut these pieces shorter, I would have made a longer shaft, but I don't think it's a problem. As you can see, it would fit in a 6-pin lock easily. And so yeah, let's try it out. I've got a couple of locks. I've got this Era, which I showed you a second ago, also a Zoo MK5, which I single pin picked in my, I'm not sure if it was my last video, I think it might have been, but we're going to show it working in this lock. And so you have to hold it this way up, obviously, and just scrub, and we're open. The great thing about this tool is that it can be used to rock a lock open or to rake. You can use a combination of both. In fact, what I quite often do is I'll use it as a rake to set some of those pins, and I'll use it almost like a hook. Use the very last peak here almost as a hook to set the last pins in the lock. And the tool that I was using before I had a Bogota was the City Rake, which isn't really designed for that. It's designed purely for rocking, I think. So we'll also try to pick this one. Also a homebrew tension wrench. So we're going completely homebrew today. And we're open. Alright, so I think that proves that it works. This one was a 5-pin lock and this one was a 6-pin, so it works on both, obviously. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to finishing this pick off. As you can see, by way of the actual pick tip itself, it's pretty much complete. You can get some focus going. Alright, so as you can see, the finish isn't perfect. In fact, you know, I don't really go for the mirror finish kind of thing. As long as it's fairly smooth and you know, as long as it goes in the lock quite smoothly, that's smooth enough for me. It's quite difficult to get these peaks all accurate, but not bad for my second Bogota, first full-size Bogota, I should say. And so yeah, it's just going to be a learning curve. You can see how it lasts. I find that this material works a lot better than windshield wiper stuff, and I've never really had a problem with picks breaking before with this stuff. So I just wanted to show that to you. This is my version 2 Bogota, and yeah, maybe one day I'll actually buy a stock Bogota. The only people I can think of off the top of my head that make this style of Bogota are Mad Bob's. So yeah, I don't really know the history of the Bogota, and I don't know why they hollow out the underside, possibly so you can use it the other way. Never really thought that. I suppose you could, because it's quite rounded there. Yeah, I suppose you could do that. But yeah, great tool for rocking, raking, even single pin picking. So I look forward to using this. I don't do a huge amount of raking, but this is quite a common tool in the lock sports community for even those who don't do a lot of raking. Anyway, thank you for listening to me going on and on and on about my Bogota. Hopefully I'll have a more interesting video next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.